solid state batteries. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another Strivemont video. Today we're going to be talking about QuantumScape, also known as ticker symbol QS. But before we get into the video, if you guys could drop the like and a sub, it does help out the channel. And let's get into it. So first things first, what is QuantumScape doing? They're basically revolutionizing the battery, going from a lithium ion, which is the current battery, into a solid state battery. So it would be a solid state lithium metal type of battery. That being said, before we could talk about QuantumScape, we need to understand what's the problems with the current lithium ion battery. So I have an article over here, and this is pretty simple, but most EVs have a range of less than 300 miles. It takes more than an hour to recharge their battery packs. The cells lose nearly a third of their capacity within a decade, and they pose a serious safety risk because of the flammable materials contained inside of them. So these are the current problems with the lithium ion, and this is what QuantumScape has to solve that problem. So we're going to go down a list of what the battery is said to be doing, and starting with energy. So the battery could work at high rates of power, fast charge. We're looking at 0 to 80% within 15 minutes. The longevity of these batteries, increased life by eliminating capacity loss at anode interface. The safety, as you guys can see, we had safety issues with the lithium ion because of the materials. However, with these batteries, it eliminates the organic separator. The solid state separator is non-flammable and non-combustible. Also, the cost. Because we're using less materials, the manufacturing cost is going to be relatively low. It's going to be way cheaper. And this is going to be the next step, guys. I'm telling you right now. So looking at this chart over here, this measures the energy density. And looking at lithium ion, this is today's battery. This is what you see in Teslas, for example. So QuantumScape is showing the next step, which, as you guys can see, as we evolved, this is a really big step upwards. So this is with their solid state lithium metal. That being said, I really like where QuantumScape is at. And one thing I want to talk about that is very interesting is the amount of patents they hold for their technology, which puts them at a really, really nice position. So QuantumScape holds around 200 patents and patent applications related to solid-state battery technology. That being said, if this does become the next battery that companies rely, QuantumScape holds all these patents and they're going to be paid a nice royalty. They're going to get a lot of money because of the battery they have for solid state and the patents they hold. That being said, one thing I want to talk about as we become more into EVs, as this market accepts more EVs and we try to start to transition out of combustible engines, this is going to lead to material issues. So lithium ion, I don't think it's going to be sustainable enough. So by eliminating some of the materials needed in those batteries, QuantumScape's solid state battery is going to be the next step forward, and a lot of companies are going to start relying on it if this is the next step. That being said, so now that we know what the company is doing and what type of market cap they could be tapping into, right? This is very revolutionary. And now I want to talk about the graph and why I'm looking into a nice option play at the moment, because I'm seeing a nice reversal in the near future. So the first thing I want to talk about is this huge pop. And this is because when the stock came out, there was a lot of hype with it. Also, because of the results they're showing that the battery was capable of. For example, as I said, being able to work at high rates of power, 0 to 80% within 15 minutes of charge, the capability of lasting hundreds of thousands of miles, long-lasting batteries, longevity. The longer the battery lasts, the less material you're going to need. It's not like you got to keep replacing those batteries. Another thing is, the ability to work in different types of temperatures. So this is really big stuff. And that being said, looking at the chart, we ran up like crazy. And this is also could be a technical move that led us way higher. And we were at a high of 138 before people started to sell out. And this is also because these batteries, we're looking into 2024 before they start going into production. So QuantumScape is more of a future investment. You want to get in right now because it's cheap. But over here, buying was a little crazy, right? Because I don't think this price really over here, justifies the company yet. That being said, Now we fell into this wedge and we're consolidating lower and lower. And why I'm saying this is a nice buying opportunity, I think we're now in a demand zone. As you guys can see, around a 23.6 retracement level, we've been holding up, and now we're starting to move up higher over here, as you guys can see. So as we start to get closer to this wedge and it tightens up, we might be expecting a nice pop upwards. That being said, if the buyers do step in around this level of demand, we might see a nice run up to the SMA line over here. So we're talking about 30 to 40% movement upwards. So that's a really nice gain. And if we break through the SMA, we could see another run up to this high over here of 87.97. So I really think, we might be seeing a nice reversal on QS. It's well deserved. It's been a while since it's had a nice movement upwards. It's been consolidating lower ever since. And if we continue to hold up on this level, we could see a nice pop up. So we want to wait for confirmation on this wedge. However, if we do break down and a lot of volume starts to come in and a lot of people are selling, we're going to be making lower lows. So let's see what happens within the next coming weeks. And I now want to talk about the option I'm going into. So before I talk about that, I want to iterate this by saying I'm not a financial advisor. Don't take whatever I'm saying serious. This is an educational video. Not education. This is an entertainment video. And let's get into it. So I'm looking at March 5th, 2021 calls for $50. So these are going to cost about, the spreads are very high right now. The spreads are like way up. And this is probably because of how it closed. We're looking at about like 5 something per contract, in my opinion. So I'm going to be buying those options. And the reason why is because if we do get that pop and we test the SMA line, $50 options with intrinsic value, you're already talking about like $16 per contract, $1,600 for one contract, right? If we go test this SMA line. So I think there's really good potential in making money in this stock right now if we get that reversal / pop. And another thing I also want to conclude is I'm going with March 5th because I think this could be within the next week or two. I wouldn't go with this week, even though we're getting really close to this wedge. Let's see what happens, if the volume comes in or not. Give yourself some time to be able to get out if things go the wrong way. That being said, I really like this company and where they're positioned at. And one thing I also want to note is who they're backed by, which is Bill Gates, Volkswagens. You got some really good names out here. And, I believe this company could show more promise and bring more updates on their batteries and show that this is the next step. They're tapping into $1 billion worth of, market cap. That being said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know down below what you think about the company and whether or not you would put your money into it. Another thing I want to note is buying shares around this level, I think is really a good idea for long term, right? So let's see what happens. That's my play. And let me know down below what you guys think.